Sally Forth Paladins, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus Mod. I am Captain Tyrek of the Dreadnought HMS Fearless, as we continue our war of vengeance against the Klingon Empire as the Hydran Kingdom. And, last episode, we almost lost our Dreadnought. We came very close to losing our Dreadnought to an asteroid starbase, which that would have been embarrassing. We kind of miscalculated how much damage we would deal at the range we were fighting at, and opened ourselves up to a lot of damage, but we've managed to destroy it, patch ourselves up, and now we will jump right back into the fight and continue to place pressure on the Klingon homeworld of Kronos. And another homeworld assault, which I will accept, because I like trying to do the homeworld assaults. I think also they probably do the most effect on trying to take a tile. Pretty sure. Not 100% on that, but, I'm hoping that's the case. Let us increase speed, go to red alert, and go up to, what was it, speed of 14, and then we'll charge. We are escorted today by HMS Exile, which is an excellent name for a vessel, especially a Hellbore armed one. Oh, love it. And HMS Citadel, another of one of our Hellbore type vessels. Are they both IRQs? Your IRQ, your IRC. So, one of you is a better fighter carrier, I guess? Not sure, doesn't matter. Enemy targets consist of a heavy cruiser and a planet. What kind of planet? Small planet, please? PLPH-5, no clue. The heavy cruiser is a DWV, and it looks like the dreadnoughts have come to play. So, we have a target, quite obviously. It's to kill the dreadnought. What kind of dreadnought was it? I wasn't checking, and it is a C9KR. So that is one heck of a dreadnought right there. That's the kind of thing that would really get us in trouble if we tried to fight it head-on. But you know what? We're a dreadnought too, so we fight it head-on. Overload the weapons! My voice is getting a little bit gravelly. Don't know why, but let's figure out what kind of planet we're dealing with. I already have a decent idea of what he's carrying. He's got like between 4 and 8 disruptors. Yeah, I know that's super accurate. And probably another 8 missiles on top, or he's only a C9, so 6 missiles on top of that, along with a massive host of phasers. What is the range of this? It is only halfway there. Appearances are deceiving. He's only halfway to the planet. And there we go, getting readings on it. This is a scary planet. It consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 phaser 4s, a little bit lighter than normal. So that's pretty nice. So 7 phaser 4s, 16 phaser 3s, and 8 disruptors. Kind of dangerous. Not hugely so, but kind of dangerous. We're going to focus, however, on this dreadnought, and let's get into the shield reinforcement, because we're starting to take a light skirmishing fire, and we need to full power our reinforcement. Please stop firing your fusion beams at maximum range. It looks like he's launched K-Swift fighters. They're over there. And we're not going to worry ourselves with them. This vessel has not launched fighters as of yet, so let's get ours out. And we're going to order harassment. Harass! Go after him. He's got 4 missiles, 2, 4, 8, 6 disruptors. So he's actually not that heavy. I'm not disappointed by him. I'm surprised. So he's opening fire on those fighters. We're going to curl in. Oh, this is a good position for us to be in, because we're going to come right in on his stern. Of course, we are having a little bit of trouble catching up to him, because he's going very fast. Let's hit him with everything we've got before these fighters come in and utterly ruin our day. Anything else that you've got? No, nothing. So we'll set all our weapons onto normal, slow down a little bit, and pull off. I was hoping to keep this shield up, but it did manage to deflect a little bit of damage from the antagonist as we go after the Dragon Slayer. That's a great name for a dreadnought. The Dragon Slayer. Taking hits that we don't want to hate. However, lucky for us, the antagonist is about to go on the wrong side of us. He's still doing a speed of 17. That's impressive. Say what you will, but that's impressive. However, HMS Exile and Citadel ought to be more than capable of basically wiping this out. So we are continuing to trade blows, and I'm going to go for a full turn, because we're going to make a hard starboard turn and go all the way around. Because we can. Also, we really do need to get this shield reinforcement going somewhere, because right now, it ain't going nowhere. Reinforce all, reinforce, and continue to come around. Where is the antagonist? Have you guys taken care of him yet? There he is. Way out there. So yeah, not our concern as of right now. Our weapons are about to come online. So let's curl in for a bit of a full pass, and we weren't able to crack his forward shield. We do have a whole bunch of weapons that are currently armed, but they're forward arc only firing. So we do need to come around and aim right at him. Right now, both of us are just trying to strip each other's shields off of him, although we've gotten a better hit in than he's gotten in on us. He's managed to wipe out one of our phaser Gs, but he's only damaged one phaser mount over here, and the 2 Hellbores. Other than that, we are pretty much mostly in good shape. He's missing his point defense system. Where are our fighters? Fighters, attack. Let's get in tight. Get in tight and hard with him. Make him cry. Use those Gatling phasers to the best of your abilities. Speaking of Hellbores, all of our Hellbores should be opening fire. We can get free hits by doing this. That drops down his speed, shocks more systems. He's launched his missiles, but it's not going to help him. Now that the fighters are really getting in on the effort. Just look at how much damage even just a small fighter group can deal. So he's lost pretty much all of his shields, and there he goes. So let's get the fighters back on board. Return to me, and return to me. And let's go after the DWV, the antagonist. He is indeed the antagonist of this story. Fighters, get back to me, please. I would prefer not to lose you. You are expensive to replace. It's 20 a pop. That's not as high as they can go, but that's pretty darn expensive. So get back on board, get repaired so that we've got, full complement ready to go when we try and take on a planet. Which is going to hurt, by the way. Just putting that out there. So taking more damage on our shields. Not having too difficult of a time right now. We'll turn a little bit. Try and keep this shield towards him. I'm a little bit concerned about going after this because our regeneration rate is not going to be great. He has launched his Swift fighters, so we should probably react to that, but I'm going to try and hope that these guys... Yeah, it looks like Exile's dealing with it. Let's get closer, so that we can use our fusion beams to their maximum effect. And full power. Ripped him apart. Unfortunately, we lost our forward shield. That's going to be a problem, because we now have to go for a planet. Oh boy, trying to kill a planet and having no forward shield. You can guess how this is going to go. Let's go all power to forward shield as soon as it comes back. I can't go towards this planet until this forward shield is back, because he's got a range of 100, and he will use it. So let's turn towards it and get ready to get shot at. We may have to sit back at maximum range and shell him, but I'm not sure we can be super effective doing that. It is a PLPH-5, which means it'll be, well, dangerous, deadly, and difficult to crack. So he is now firing his super long-range phaser 4s, the kind that, well, the game uses to annihilate things that it feels need to die. Such as, the ships that we go after that we still dilithium crystals or medical supplies for, or the Killing Song, because the game decided that our dreadnought was too cool and just had to die. We are in relatively good shape. And no shots through yet. And we're not in range to fire yet. We're just going to keep firing these until we get something. Because it worked when we tried to... So, way back in Season 3. So, a season and a half ago. We used to play the ISC. The ISC has something called the Plasmatic Pulsar Disruptor, or device. I always think that it's disruptor, but it's not. It's just a device. And we were able to crunch through enemy shields at long range, planetary shields, mind you, because the PPD hits the facing shield and the two side shields. So as long as we keep firing our Hellbores at long range, eventually we will crack these shields. Unless the AI has been drastically improved, and I don't think it has been. So the plan is, we're going to sit here at maximum range and just shell the crap out of it. Because eventually, we'll break through. The question is, how close do we get? We only have 4 Hellbores, so it's not a... Oh! See, we're getting through now. So there's a hole in the shield. So now we can start to take advantage of this. We'll keep an eye on this screen here, because we are going to slowly make our way in, but the primary goal at this point is we're just going to shell and shell and shell, and eventually we can make something happen. Probably won't close closer than the range of 15. Let's see if he starts firing. I'm really waiting to see what happens when he opens fire with these phaser 4s. Because if I can take a full salvo, that's where we stop. We get as close as we can until the amount of phaser damage that he deals overcomes the amount of defense we have. So normally that's about a range of about 15. He's firing his phaser 4s at separate targets. He's not being consistent. 18 damage. That's good. We're just going to systematically break you down. Bit by bloody bit. because that is the only way we're going to crack this. If we go right in like we did with that asteroid starbase in the last episode, well, we're going to get gutted. And we've seen what happens when large numbers of Phaser 4s get concentrated on a single target. They just absolutely wipe ships out. And we have been wiped out before. We don't like it. It's not fun. It's not cool. Everyone does remember that, I hope. The episode way back. It's not that far back ago. Back when we had HMS Oscar, our very first heavy cruiser. She was a Lord Bishop Command cruiser, and we flew up towards an enemy starbase, took one shot and died. Because just the amount of firepower that a Phaser 4 can put out is just absurdly high. So that's why we're going to sit here and do the smart thing. It's not the flashy thing, it's not the glamorous thing, but it is the smart thing. And when you're flying a dreadnought like this, we really can't afford to replace it. Ooh, we took out something important there. 16 damage, plus their Hellbores, and some light long-range fusion fire. We're not getting through this shield here. Just the amount of Phaser firepower we can focus on it is just completely insufficient. We will never bust through. So I'm not involving my phasers yet. We're just using our Hellbores, and they're averaging about 14 a shot. That's for 4 of them firing, so yeah. So this is actually a really good assault group. The Citadel and the, what were you? You were the, I forget entirely. The Exile, that was it. We were remarking Exile was a cool name, yeah. The Citadel and the Exile both have, I think, four Hellbores with it? Take a look at you. Yeah, they've both got 4 Hellbores, same as me. I've got 4 Hellbores, but then an additional 4 fusion beams. So I'm basically a step above them with better shields. So this is probably the best kind of just siege group you could come up with from a Hydra perspective. Oh, we're doing good. Getting close, people. It's time to really start ripping things open. So we're going to get in close. He only has two Phaser 4s left. We should be able to tank that kind of damage. So we will continue to just shell. And now that we're going in, we're just causing righteous amounts of damage. Slow down. We'll go to a speed of 1. All systems select. And stop. And now we fire everything. Yep, that did it. Just fusion beam strikes from orbit. That was all that was necessary. How long until we can capture? We've got to kill 4 more people. So we'll just keep firing, keep frying the enemy until they are no longer a threat. Only 2 more to go, and we can start landing troops. Thank you. Marines away! 3 to 1. That'll do it. So let's pull out of here. We're done, folks. We are donezo. And wait for the Marines to finish capturing Kronos. It's not actually Kronos. It's possibly the high orbitals of Kronos? Well, okay, so the planet is Kronos, because this is a homeworld capture mission. But this isn't going to flip a tile. It takes a lot of work normally to do that sort of thing. So 12 minutes to take on an entire planet. We did have quite a bit of heavy cruiser support, but that's not bad. The Marat can do it faster. 670, that's an excellent amount of prestige. And dart back, and missions. A surprise reversed, an excellent mission. So after having managed to successfully raid Kronos and attack a whole bunch of important things, we have now managed to catch a random... Oh, hi, Exile. Exile's back with us. A random frigate group with a heavy cruiser. So a squadron rushing back to the homeworld in response to their summons, their requests for assistance. And they stop outside the space at a nearby nebula over here. Gorgeous nebula. To do some, repair, refit, setup for the battle and to get it all ready when Hydran forces come out of warp from nowhere and come bearing down on them. And now they hastily rush around the ship trying to get the systems back online. But will it be able to save them? Will it be enough? Find out at 11. But we are going to go as fast as we can, which is actually about this speed. So Hellbores take, what, 3 turns to charge, I think? It's probably longer than 2. And we have no budget bonus for being fully charged Hellbores. So let's go. Fighters, you. Attack. Actually, no, we probably shouldn't, because Klingons will have point defense systems, and point defense systems suck. So we'll come in with our full heavy firepower and just try and rip them apart. Yeah, especially these G2. Frigates tend to be lousy with the point defense system. Ooh, it's a Mauler. That's even cooler. So a Mauler group showed up, trying to save the world. Fusion beams selected. Would engage them with point-blank range firepower. The Flaming Death! I'm sorry, but for some reason that's just reminding me of a Bug's Life. The Ring of Fire! Or no, not a Bug's Life. Why am I thinking Bug's Life? There we go, we got him. Finding Teemo. The Ring of Fire. Flaming Death. Oh no, that's why it's reminding me. So Flaming Death is it's a stunt in A Bug's Life that's done by the circus performers, and they have to go through a flaming ring. Yeah, PB's Circus, that was it. That's why it was reminding me of A Bug's Life. Oh, Pixar movies are good. So let's come in, F5KR. I want to say that you are in fact the Commando transport, but I just don't know anymore. I've thought about it, I've tried to figure it out, and I just can't come up with a good answer. I should at some point look through the Klingon vessel library because, well, I want to know. The Storm Chariot. That's a heavy cruiser name. That's a great name for a heavy cruiser, not so much for a frigate. You didn't die though. So that does reflect very well on you. You took 74 damage and didn't die in one giant burst. You have tiny amounts of ammunition. You have disruptors. Have you killed it? Yes, you did. With Hellbores, which is awesome. Admit it, Hellbores coming in and just annihilating something is pretty cool. Select the fusion beamers. We'll get right up on top of him. See if that's enough to kill him. Hopefully it will be. He is, after all, just a tiny frigate. This is a gunboat. It's the smallest kind of frigate he can be. Didn't work! Okay, that was a waste. We fired absolutely everything and we didn't need to. I'm going to increase time because at this point we're just picking on the weak. The Watchman! It's an okay name. I suppose decent for a frigate. You. Oh, you turned on. You will have an opportunity to die fighting. Which I suppose is the only thing that any Klingon ever asks for. Although, I probably would have tried to run. Probably would have been the better decision. Just to pick up stakes and try and get the heck out of there, because at that point, are you really gonna kill me? 300 prestige for clearing out the space of hostile Klingon forces. We'll pop over here, and it's an asteroid base assault. Really? Oh, I hate this. This is not fun. I dropped down here because I thought it would avoid us having to get caught into a diplomatic mission, but that didn't work. So we'll check. We're moving into the left-hand side of the screen. We'll come up here. Prep me a willed whizzle. Increase speed up to 14. Use every point of power, and for once, we can actually use every point of power, which is kind of a nice change. And increase time. Tell me when you see something. We have a freighter. Okay. Overload the weapons. We've got overload and kills them at point-blank range. Assuming, of course, that you are not equipped with tons of plasma torpedoes. I hope not. Okay, you're just a whole bunch of... You're not gonna fight us. You're not going to be dangerous at all. I'm sorry, but you just do not have the wherewithal to stand against our might. Slow down time so I can get around to fixing the fact that we are not reinforcing the ship, and we do need to reinforce that forward shield. Reinforce maximum power, because we are coming into point-blank range, and we are going to basically, well, light up his world. Slow down so we can get all power to that forward shield. Take all of his shots. Die. He's dead. So there's that. He's done for. We'll go back to normal mode. Increase our speed to 14. The reason why we're going back to normal mode is because, well, we're going to do the same thing we did to the planet. Except, well, no, it's just going to be the exact same thing we did to the planet. We're going to fly up to it, get to about a range of 20, and just start shelling it. Because, unlike the planet, this does not have any shields. So we should be able to get through without too much trouble. So the Hellbore cannons are fully charged. The range is like 40... I think it's 40.99. So we have a little ways to go. And we are going to keep the shields fairly heavily powered. Now, the one disadvantage in this fight that we didn't have in the planetary fight is the starbase only has one target now. The planet had 3 to worry about, plus additional fighter support. We're going to go harass. And that'll give him an additional target that he's going to have to worry about. One that hopefully will not be us. Fighters do, of course, have natural ECM because they are tiny, nimble little things. Oh. Slow down. We're slowing. Basically to there. And now we slowly march our way into battle. We've ordered them to harass, so they will stick at maximum range just to use their hellbores, while avoiding his phaser 3s, which are dangerous. And continue the hellbore bombardment! 4 more damage. That's okay. Okay, fighters, return to me. Or at least you. Selection, you are this one. Return! I ordered a return. 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 I think it might take him like almost a full turn to get the return order. We missed! All 4 shots missed! Wow! That's kind of absurd. So now we have to wait all these turns just to charge things up again. Hopefully hit. How did that work? I was not paying enough attention to this. Because this will determine how close we get. Once again, we are back to our old tactics of slowly getting into close range. We are fine. He cannot break that. At a closer range he might, but we may be able to get all the way down to a range of 10. Which would be pretty cool, because that'll drastically improve our hellbore effectiveness. So, we wait. More siege work. A lot of siege work in this episode. So 1 hit. We are doing better in the amount of damage that we're dishing out. I'm starting to think that these phasers don't have a single churn recharge. I take that back. They definitely do. We can get closer. We still have not reached the effectiveness where they can finally start punching through our forward shields. And fire hellbores. 16 damage. I suppose that's not so bad. 15 will probably be like a big break point for the amount of damage that they're going to do, because that'll probably be a whole bracket up. Ugh, took some hits there. But still going strong. The forward shields are still holding at an excellent level. Continue to fire. 40 damage. That's not bad. So we're stopped for now. I want to get a good look to see how much damage we're going to take from this next strike. Because it could be considerable. It was not. Continue to close. I don't want to waste power. Because we're not spending any power to fire these. We're not wasting any power when we fire these hellbore cannons, because the amount of power it costs to charge them is the same amount of power that it costs to hold them. So we can basically just keep firing these and it'll have no effect on our shield reinforcement. The fusion beams, however, do have a charging cost that is higher than their hold cost. So if we were to try and use the fusion beams, that would cause a problem. Same deal with the phaser capacitor. It would start costing us energy, and that would sap away from our powerful shields, which we're currently hiding behind. We haven't managed to do a whole ton of damage yet. And by ton of damage, I mean systems damage. Okay, now he's dented, it seems. But what we're really kind of looking for is this big bar here to suddenly drop to, like, there in one shot. And it can happen, because the main amount of firepower, most of where his BPV comes from, is those 4 phaser 4 mounts. Well, the single mount of 4 phaser 4s. If we take that out, suddenly all hell is going to break loose. So we probed him, he's fine, he doesn't care. We're basically just crunching down his armor for now. But once he's out of armor, that's when everything's going to pretty much go to hell. Because at that point, he's going to start taking systems damage, and he's only got 4 systems on board. Well, technically 10. I wanted to get a little bit closer, but I'm not going to risk it. Not until you start losing systems. So technically, he's got 10 systems that can be destroyed. He has his ECM generator, a transporter, 4 phaser 4s, 4 phaser 3s. So he's not actually that robust once you get past the armor. But because he's basically an asteroid, he's got a lot of armor. So getting past that armor is not so easy. And then, of course, there's the somewhat hilarious inaccuracy of our hellbore cannons, where of that one only 1 hits. Now we are averaging 10 damage per shot, so when we do manage to hit all the shots, we do 40 damage, which is pretty good. But lately, as you can see, 20 damage, 20 damage, 10 damage. So the gunner's not doing a stellar job. 30 damage, still 1 miss. I suppose that should be somewhat expected from a range of 10, but the hellbore is meant to be sort of that medium long range weapon. So I would hope for a little bit more effectiveness. Or not getting it, but hey, what can you expect? More accuracy. That's definitely what it is. So he's one of his phaser 4s is either shocked offline or damaged. There, that was the big hit we were waiting for. Increased speed. He's only got 2 of those. He's down to 2 phaser 4s. And he's plinking away as best as he can. But our shields can handle that a lot better. So he's pretty much out of armor. It's all over, save for the Weeping of the Crying. All weapons select. Long range fire. We're just going to start blinking away with everything we've got. We're looking to disable systems. Hopefully that'll work out. We hope. He's lost his phase 3 entirely. He's still... Oh, he managed to almost get through the shields. As we are not charging our shields quite as powerfully as we used to be. He's really flashing the shields, but I think we can overcome it. Maybe not. Maybe we got it too aggressive because he's repaired most of those phaser 4s. We're starting to lose our forward shielding. Keep firing. Oh crap. Oh! I thought that we may have committed to this a bit early. Because that was really starting to get kind of close with him punching through the shield. But it looks like we did it just in time. We managed to overcome his abilities. We managed to cause a spike in his reactor, which caused the entire asteroid to detonate in a giant ball. Only 114 prestige. It's never really a good battle. But we did neutralize the tile. But that's going to wrap it up for an episode right there. I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.